Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Eerie Entities, a mod that's designed to add a little bit more spookiness to your world. And what you see before you is more or less just kind of an example of some of it, though a lot of the mobs that I have here, I've removed the AI from it, thanks to another mod that I have found as well. But I will be explaining a little bit of each one. First, we're going to start with these, the Willow Wisp. Randomly throughout your world, you may find these in, well, most likely swampy style areas, and that's willow wisps. They come in a few different sizes, and they're more or less harmless. They're going to be neutral to you. They really aren't going to pursue you much, and they'll very rarely move much at all. In fact, they just move kind of slow. But if I enter into survival mode, and I'm not swarmed by other entities nearby, there we go, get out of here. Now that that's handled, you might find these guys around the world, and if you experience them and potentially walk into them, you could be set alight. So you just keep in mind that they are just kind of a walking fireball. Oh, there's a creeper over there. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They're going to wander around and just kind of be nice. They only have a half heart. You can take them out really easily. They don't have much for any kind of drops. And you will burn for a very long time. So you're going to want to be very, very cautious about that possibility. As a side note, they also come in multiple colors. You've got your purples, greens, kind of like this bluish teal, yellow, all sorts of variety for each of those. Now you also have your other stuff here. I've got a lot to choose from, but we're going to go next with cursed armor. As you can see, there are 4 varieties. Each of these currently have their AI disabled, as I had stated, and they're usually found in biomes that are non-traditional vanilla. Namely, you've got dead, wasteland, spooky, magical, etc. So it depends on what mods or mod packs you have in there, and those may change over time. Who knows? It's a brand new mod. But if I spawn them into the world, whoops. Let's try that again. If I spawn them into the world, there you go. They'll have a random chance of being any of the different types. And if I'm in survival, they will basically come for me and try and attack. Now here's the thing. They only have a half a heart. And they move very slowly. But you notice I'm not doing any kind of damage to these guys. Let's put the light out and actually drop down some torches so that we can see this a little bit better. The idea here is you have to actually break the armor. Notice their armor rating is dropping as I hit them, and it makes a breaking sound. Once you've removed all the armor, you should be able to take them out. So this next one is actually regarding these jack-o'-lanterns as you see out front here. You probably notice that some of the faces are a little bit different from what they usually are. Well, that's because you can get these as drops from this new enemy. And that is the pumpkin slime. Pumpkin slimes, well, they kind of are peaceful things until you get too close. Now, I am in creative, so they're not going to come to life at this point. But if I switch things over, you probably will see that there is a little difference once I get a little bit closer. So once I switch over to survival mode, you may notice that some of these may come to life. Obviously, there are some will-o'-wisp nearby, so they might also get set on fire, as well as other mobs may join in the fight. Now with those cleared out, we've got others that might disguise themselves as nearby pumpkins. But of course, they're probably not going to do anything until you get a little bit closer. Or you just get their attention by poking at them. Now, if it becomes daytime, they might just poof into non-existence. But to better illustrate this, allow me to first change it to night, make a bunch of these guys here. Okay, allow me to spawn a bunch of these guys in. Now, I'm in creative, so they're not actually going to do very much of anything. This is pretty much how they look as they are. You know, some of them might be facing each other, and they will actually align itself to be with the Minecraft map, so it looks like a regular pumpkin. But if it becomes daytime, like so, poof, they might die. And in the process of doing so, they might leave a jack-o'-lantern or a pumpkin that's already been carved. In this case, sadly, it's just the regular Minecraft one. But you might have a chance of getting some in the future. There you go. If I just try spawning a bunch in, you might see that we'll get some of these others that might happen as well. And then you can always, use these as you want, turn them into jack-o'-lanterns or your usual stuff. Now, sadly, you cannot wear these, or at least not as of this point, but it doesn't mean that they aren't going to be pretty cool to have around, just a little bit of different decoration either way. Now, here's the other thing, though. If it is nighttime and these guys are able to bounce around in the world, you might be able to tame them, or at least make them not attack you, by feeding them, of all things, pumpkin pie. And then you can make them sit still, or, whoops, if you don't walk into a will-o-wisp, you can let them bounce around normal-like. But in this case, I don't want this guy to get injured, so I'm just going to leave him here. Just by right-clicking, you'll have them sit or move around. All right, now this guy here is pretty much going to be the end of it, and that is the fact that he is kind of it is kind of a boss. It's a Nether Knight. They've got 50 hearts and 2.5 armor each. Let me get into the Nether, and I'll show you a little bit more about them. Okay, now here I am in the Nether, as of course is where you might experience finding a Nether Knight. They're relatively rare to find, but when they are around in the Nether, they will have a lot of abilities. This is why I'm also encrusted with diamond gear. It's not necessarily going to be a good thing. Now, I'm in survival, and of course this is going to make things for a more interesting battle, but they may spawn mobs upon taking damage, or at the very least they might also set you on fire if they're able to block some of these abilities here. So there we go. It then set me on fire for a short time, and then it spawns mobs as it takes damage. So this is kind of like a bit of a little mini boss for the Nether that you might find randomly throughout your world, or at least throughout the Nether. Now, if you're fortunate enough to defeat one of these, you will probably be lucky enough to get one of these. Another shield, which of course you can use against some of his minions. Hopefully they're not going to do too much damage to you. But it's just a regular Minecraft shield with the usual texture, with a kind of a nether brick texture about it. It's pretty good. There we go. You can see I've got two of them on me right now, holding one up and got one in the other hand. And that should pretty much cover things for this kind of SpookyJam made mod, which was made by Darkhax, Jared08, and of course the MMD or Minecraft Mod Development team or group. I'm not entirely sure there, but that's what it says up over on CurseForge. Anyway, if you want to check this mod out and other mods, feel free to check out the description below. And there are plenty of other spooky ones for your Halloween enjoyment and delight that you might also find as part of the SpookyJam event that they have held on the Minecraft Mod Development Discord. So if you enjoyed, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be sure to spread the mischief to everybody that you could possibly do so. I'll see you guys next time.